So my daughter's at that age where she likes to copy people, and she was walking the other day. She had her hands in her pocket, and she like totally bailed face first. I kind of felt bad. I came home today. She went to the park with Grandpa, and she was like looking at the fish from the bridge. And she stuck her head in between two posts and got it stuck. And like now her ear's like all messed up. And that's kind of like, it's interesting because she came home and she told us about it in a very calm voice after the panic. And it reminded me of where we are right now with the uplift. Because there's a few people panicking, but for the most part, you know, a lot of people are excited. And I just want to say thank you to all you guys who are out there doing stuff. Like it went from, you know, last week or 2 weeks ago, really, me having to answer questions for, you know, honestly, probably from people that don't even have land. How dare you, right?
There's definitely some of that going on. I'm like, do you really care? You're just being a dick.
Yeah. To this week, where I'm like, oh man, like there's so many things that people want to do to help, and I just don't know how to plug it into our system. So again, I just want to go back over, you know, why we're all here. And just recap a couple things, and then we're gonna jump in with Mello, and then we're probably gonna, you know, go harvest some gratitude birch, have some fun, you know, play in the metaverse a little bit. But again, you know, we're moving towards a DAO, right? And whatever you think a DAO is, well, that's fine. But if you haven't sat on a DAO and you don't know what problems are with DAOs, you should probably like figure this out, right? Like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you're moving to a DAO. Like you should, like, it's not a DAO if we only get 25%. Dude, we could give you nothing. Okay. Point one. Point two. I mean,
scene. Show over.
How many DAOs have I sat on that have been complete and utter failures? Well, DACs and DAOs, right? Like there's a lot of DAC and DAO problems, right? Because honestly, it's a bit of an issue, right? And so you have to understand the difference. And I'm a little bit weird. I'm like a Platonist, right? Like Plato, politics and finances, they don't mix. And we're trying to do that in blockchain, and it's a complete and utter disaster 99% of the time. So don't think about this as like, oh, we get to take the uplift and we get to have it for free and make money, right? This isn't general crypto. We want to be here for years. We want to be able to build up that fund, to be able to promote people, to be able to promote events, to be able to bring, you know, art and PvP and all of this stuff to the metaverse. And if you want to be here for it, that's great, because we're going to freaking kill it, right? But if you just want a bunch of free money so that you can cash it out, then that's okay too. But there's a lot of other places that you could be, right? And so, like, you know, we're at the point now where Corey and me and a bunch of the other team, we're kind of having to unplug at points in times, because there's just so many people coming to us with all these great ideas that we can't synthesize them all without walking away and having a walk in the park with the ducks. Anyway, did I miss anything? That's like my little.
No, I think that's it.
Rant, right?
That's like, been my experience too. Like, I could count on one hand the people that are being hypercritical, and some of it's understandable because we haven't been able to tell everyone stuff, and that really, you know, is not fun, and especially uncomfortable for me, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm a bit of a loudmouth. But like, we're not the only party in this, so we have to be, you know, working with everyone to get it done, and we absolutely categorically need to get it done. So it just is what it is. So, you know, I get it, but yeah, again, like 97% of the people that I talk to, and I'm talking to hundreds, are like, cool, let's fucking rock and roll. And that, like, I cannot like express enough how, you know, grateful I am for that energy, because like the squeaky wheel people they'll rip your soul out and fucking stomp on it for fun. Well, which is not great. And it's on. And again, like, you know, I take it personally sometimes. People know this about me. This is a thing that's happened before, and I have to own that, right? Like, my reaction to that is like, it's no one's fault but my own. So I am also grateful for the lessons that a couple people have been providing, because, you know, the DAO, even as constituted, you know, people's opinions are going to be all about it, and so I'll have to figure out, you know, how I intersect with all of that and not kill anyone.
Well, and I think an interesting point that like kind of got up in our private channel the other day was that like, you know, a lot of times we are listening to the community, right? Like, and if you're into the Discord, you might have some issues or you might have some problems, but you know, for the most part, we are listening to people, right? Like we're not just banning people outright because they say something bad. Like seriously, go into some of the Discord channels and look at all the bad shit that people are saying, and we're actually listening, right? Like we're actually responding, right? It's
I
like,
wouldn't talk too much about that because I would go back to insta banning unhelpful people in a split second.
right,
For
but
real.
like, right,
I think
like
we probably should.
different people have different levels of tolerance, right? And for good reason, right? And these are why some of the people with the higher levels of tolerance are the ones that are plugged into this, right?
Well
Not
said.
necessarily.
Yeah,
right.
Cowie and Super Sam walk on water. That's what
Yeah.
Jimmy is saying right now, and it's
And,
actually true.
right. And I just want you to know that like, yeah, we're more than happy to entertain all of these ideas. Now, are we going to listen to you? We might. Are we going to try to incorporate it? We might. But call whoever your president happens to be and see if they listen to every single fucking thing that you say, right? Like it's the exact same thing, right? Right. And so, like, I think the important thing to remember is that you have a say when we port over to the DAO, but your say is a fraction of the percent. The other important thing to remember is like, who in their right mind would give the whole DAC or the whole DAO over to the community? Well, I can tell you who. All of the DACs and DAOs that like failed. Pretty much, right? Because there's a lot of them. Now, that doesn't mean that, like, I think the important thing, and I think the really exciting thing for the people who are here, because the people who are bitching and complaining, they're probably not listening to this anyway, but the people who are here, we have a chance to go and do so many things. Now, I think on my list, the first thing to figure out how to do is to figure out a system that we can plug all those ideas in instead of me getting 100 DMs on Monday morning discussing great ideas and me looking at it and just being like, holy shit, like which one do I think about first, right?
Yeah, it's almost like you know how we had Monday for internal dev stuff, like getting to the point where you know, we've got sort of an idea filter, like triage, right? Because like there is like the majority of ideas, even the ones that are untenable for whatever technical detail, like the intent is always so freaking good. And getting to those in a triage to where, okay, like these are possible, these aren't, these are near term, these are down the road or whatever, and just getting them into a place so that people can actually see. And honestly, I think we should organize that publicly, right? Like have like a public a Trello or Monday board that just sort of shows like these are and the review process for them, right? Because that way people will start to understand better, you know, the potentially some technical constraints or people might have ideas around that or whatever. I like, but having that in an organized thing, I think is going to be super valuable.
Well, and I also think like, sorry, go ahead, Mello.
I was just gonna say, like, maybe just break it up and just, you know, task it on to somebody else. Like, you know, get yourself an assistant specifically for those type of deals or agendas. You know, so that way it takes a little bit off of your plate, a little bit of stress off of your back. You know, because you're too busy focusing on the company. Jimmy, you're promoting it by doing all these interviews and going on podcasts. You know, you don't have the time essentially, like, because look at it, like you only got 24 hours in a day. Okay. And how much of that time do you essentially own? Okay. I mean, Jimmy, you got a full-time job. So there goes 8 hours, right? Then you got to commute from work. That's what, like another hour, then an hour, like to like home. So, you know, there goes 10 hours right there. Okay. Then you got time with your family. We'll just say, for sake of argument, we'll just say 4 hours right there.
Oh, Jesus, that would be hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you got.
I don't think any of us are taking like human being time, and I don't think any of us have for a long time.
Yeah. So it's like,
no,
you have to make time for yourself, and it cannot always be about the company, because sooner or later you're going to burn out. And I can say from experience, when I hung out with Corey, I actually burned out right before I went on that trip. And I was so glad I did, because I need my batteries to recharge and reset, because it was just crazy. Last year was just full steam ahead, go, and then
Yeah, it was a lot.
You burn out. So it's like you have to task that off onto somebody else, otherwise you're just going to burn out. You know.
Well, and Corey and I have been doing the show long before, the Uplift was the Uplift. And we've always kind of been talking about like on-chain governance and things. And I think that there's some really interesting plugs that we could pop in there and we could play with, but we've got to get a basis for how this is all organized first. And I think that's coming. And I think we've got some really good ideas. And like, honestly, like, ask Corey whenever we've got like a pretty good idea in the back channels that's like almost sussed out and it's almost perfect, who fucking comes in and derails it with all these crazy ideas? It's this guy. He's like, hey, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that, maybe we should do this. And like seriously, I'm really glad that they don't listen to me, because like my ideas are a little bit out there, but I think that we have a good shot.
I think you're being far too hard on yourself, for the record.
You know what, your things are out there, who gives a fuck? Because you want to know what's crazy work?
Well, no, but that, so
is overrated.
So this is actually more of a an advantage to the team that we have, because they're really nice and they're really polite about it, but they're like, hey, we just need something simple that works right now, because we're fucked, right? Like, we just right. We need to show the community that we can put something out there, which is great, right? Like, and I'm an idealist, again, but yeah, I mean, like,
okay, sweet Jesus, it's the perfect evolution of beard growth.
You're not wrong there, Polar Knight.
I mean, that
we got the starter. Then we got up here, or
I think I might be the medium one. I think Jimmy's got me on the beard thing.
I haven't done it yet.
All right, there you go.
And then there's also, we got Light Gray here. Then we got Corey, and then we got Jimmy.
Jesus, dude, seriously, like, all right, like my apex of like how hot I could ever possibly be was like probably about 4 years ago, right? And I bloomed late, right? Like this, I was pretty fucking hot when I was 39. Like, I'll be honest, right? Like, it's like I was like, that's like the hottest I'll ever be. That's the most fit I'll ever be. But I got into crypto, and yeah.
Dude. Yeah. But you want to know what? You can always work at it. I mean, shit, like, when I went down to Miami, and seeing everybody work on the beach every day, 6 o'clock, I'm out on the beach, I'm running, and I've been doing it ever since. And now I'm down 40 pounds, looking lean, looking thin, and I'm going for a 6-pack, because I want my 39. When I get to 39 in a couple of years, have my I'm good now. Still keep it going.
Yeah, my problem is I never had to try, and so I'm hoping to get on the water again. But anyway, let's. I just want to say one other thing as well. Again, hold your NFTs or sell them. It's cool. And we had someone sell like a bunch of NFTs because they weren't sure how they felt about it, and they're still coming in and supporting, people who are making NFTs for our drops. There's a good way to do it, and there's a bad way to do it. Right, like there's a lot of people who are like, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I can't dedicate time to this. I'm going to let it go. But they're still supporting other artists and other people who are in here. So like, hats off to you. That's freaking awesome. All right, that's really cool. And I get it.
On the flip side of that, coming into the Discord channel, going like, oh, I'm out of here, whatever. The only response you're going to get is like, stop talking about it and do it, right? Like, and just make sure that you don't come back in 3 months, because you're going to be kicking yourself in the penis if you have one, or some other painful place if you don't. Because we've got a tremendously good plan.
Yeah,
and that's it. Like, Jimmy, now I'm at the point today where, like, especially like over the weekend, like, it was definitely there's a limit to the amount of time I should spend in the Discord and who I should allow myself to talk to. And these are good lessons for me. Mostly I'm just going to talk to Mello for the rest of the time, just like anyone else. Mello and Jimmy, everybody else can just talk to them.
I mean, I'll talk to you even if you're critical, but I'm going to tell you fuck off.
Well, that's where I got to.
Well, no, like because we have to with this show, right? Like, we have to be civil with certain people, right? But my favorite one is when people come to me and they tell me all of the problems about all of the things, and they complain about all of the things, and then they tell me who their favorite people are, and their favorite people are fixing their problems with the other things. That's really fun. Like, pay attention. Like, there's shit that you don't know. Anyway, let's just leave it there. But what I do want to say is you know, there was some criticism about this, and I think everyone in here has got it, but it's like, you know, we are not asking anyone for any more money, right? Like, we're not doing that, right? Like, a bunch of the community, they wanted to come in and they wanted to donate stuff to us. And so this is why we spun up the new NFT line. It's just nice to give people, you know, a badge of honor. I mean, we grew up in the States, we grew up in Canada, we grew up in North America. We're used to getting fucking participation trophies for doing jack shit. So we kind of figure that we should give someone something if they want to help us out. Now, speaking of helping us out, a bunch of the gallery owners, they really stepped up and they said, we want to do this thing for you. And we kind of said no. And then they said, well, we really want to do it. And we kind of said no. And then they said, well, just will you let us fucking do it? Because this is our home. And we kind of said yes. And so now we've got all of these wonderful, amazing videos of all of some of the best galleries in the place. And so I want to play one today. And I think it's only fair that we start off with the mall gallery, because the mall gallery really did nail down and hammer down what you can do with a 50 by 50 plot. And it just took it out of the and there's some amazing galleries. We're going to feature a new one every day this week. But yeah, here it is.
I mean, shut up.
Maybe 1/10 of what's actually there too. Like maybe 1/10.
Dude.
I would like to give a special shout out to Gary for that.
Yep.
Because Gary, you're a fucking legend, brother. And he actually did one. He did one for the Tree of Life that I made. And yeah, like Gary just shit on mine with that. Like, absolutely phenomenal job.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So I just want to say, I'm going to throw out my gratitude right now. I'm grateful for Gary Boyd.
We're calling him Gary Boyd now?
Or Gary.
I'm cool with Gary Boyd. That's the only reason I knew who he was.
It's Gary there. It's Gary the architect, man. It's
Gary the architect. Ooh.
Yeah, it's all right.
I like that.
Yeah.
Done.
Damn.
Yeah, they're so
the first
good.
20 seconds of that, and then like the music started playing. I was like, oh no, oh no.
Yeah.
And then what really, when it peaked was when they showed Han Solo's kid, Ren, and then Darth Vader, and then the music hit. And I was like,
yep. Yeah.
Like,
can confirm.
Absolute treat with that one.
Right? Yeah, they're all really good, and really like this. It comes from the source material, so freaking awesome. And yeah, Gary's really got the walkthrough down, and he's been spending time on this stuff, man. Like getting all that stuff to match the music, and like his level of labor of love in this moment is something that is honestly personally deeply inspiring to me. Love you, Gary. Fucking guy.
Shows. I mean,
yeah, dude, it's so good. All right, Jimmy, what are you grateful for?
This is a tough one for me today because I kind of needed to take the weekend to unplug as well and do some stuff. But I'm actually like, it's funny because I'm grateful for options, even though I'm refusing them. The amount of people that have come out of the woodwork and said, "Hey, do you want to come help us with our project? Do you want to do this thing?" And I just said no because I want to be here and I want the uplift to just, resonate throughout all of what everyone who's ever put any time and effort into wanted to put out there in the world. And I think that like we've got the team to do it. I think that we've got the capacity to do it. And I think that, we're hitting the ground running with we're hitting the ground with a running start. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that like, it's just going to be really exciting to see what happens in a year. And, I'm just grateful for opportunity. But my second one is I'm just grateful for this team and this community. People. Like that's the most important thing. And Tony Houch, sure, I'm not really sure where you sent the the message.
It's in your Telegram.
Okay, great. Also, I'm gonna. Corey said something that's really interesting too, and we have to do this, but I'm struggling a little bit this next week or two because as Mello said, I do teach. I'm a university professor, which I won't be anymore after 2 weeks, which is fun because I'll have more time to spend on all of you. But
you got some time equity. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, it's awesome. Like, because I have no choice but to make this work now. Let's just put it that way.
Burn the ships, baby. Burn the ships.
Right. So, but I want to have I want to have a community call. I'm going to figure out a way to set this up. Hopefully, it's the middle of February. So maybe the end of February, March, once we get on our feet, once we get things going, because like the rewards pool is back now, like, the next season's going to be rolling out. We're going to be giving out rewards in Wax and in the Upliftium. So we've got a bunch of events planned. Honestly, like, we've got more events planned than we have time for. Like there's so many great places and great partitions in the servers that we could break off and do amazing things. But I want to do a overkill is underrated. Fair enough. You want to, yeah. Okay. Sure. It's underrated for everyone except for me. Cause like, I'm like killed already. But like, I want to set up like what Mello said in a way, like a community suggestion talk through board. The worst thing for me, and I'll say this, like, honestly, the worst thing for me is like having to type shit out. Like I'd rather just sit there and have like cool casual conversations with people. So like if anyone's interested in like, a brainstorming like type of, because this is a lot of times what we do in our team meetings. And I think it's really good, right? Like we'll get in there and we'll talk and we'll just come up with these crazy ideas and 90% of them never even get implemented. So I'd be interested to see what the community would like to implement with a no holds barred approach, like full well knowing that like 98% of those ideas probably won't go into, action ever. But even the ones that do, it's going to take a long time. But this is the thing of basically, education and understanding. If you give people the ability to feed off of each other with ideas, that's where true ideas that have value is born. And so like I want to kind of do this, and I'm not 100% sure how, but for all of you who are like sending me DMs and ideas, like I really am trying to keep up, because the amount of shit that's coming in, and it's not even shit. Like, oh, I say shit, but like I'm a permaculturalist, so shit is the best fucking possible thing you can have, because that's nitrogen and things grow with it, right? So like, the amount of
I love that you're ready to literally careen off the road and you still manage to get them back as often as not. That is a skill, good sir.
Right. Yeah. So definitely, if I miss your DMs, please forgive me, but hit me up somewhere else, and I'll try to make them work. But yeah, let's figure this out. Yeah, overkill is underrated, and roadkill is overrated. So we're there. Mello, are you in the server? Are you hanging out?
I am. I was just at a plot that I was working on gratitude for someone. I'm actually making my way over to Corey's plot now. I just found it.
So Mello's got this thing with trees that I didn't know about until actually Mello's Treehouse, which is on this plot. And if you go over to where we hide all the alpha.com, you'll see two really amazing trees that Mello built, which in all frankness are probably two of the worst articles. Which in all frankness is probably one of the worst articles I've ever written. And I'll tell you why. The sheer scale of these trees is almost impossible to get into the frame of a photo. You just can't comprehend what he's put together when you're in the world and you're panning around. So definitely like check out that article and then go have a wander over on those two Genesis plots, and try out the boat race, and try out the I guess the yoga studio.
That was funny, because that was just holy shit. What is next to Corey's plot? Wait, Corey, did you do some work to your build, or am I not even here?
The only thing I've really done recently, I ringed it with birch trees. So there's nothing like major. Just let's just do some mega landscaping.
Okay, I found you. Okay, cool. And it's funny because there's actually a third tree on Genesis, and it's a bonsai tree, and the stub of the tree that goes into the ground, actually it's on a water plot. The root of the tree essentially is inside is a concert hall with like a DJ booth set up, like bougie, cocktail lounge.
Is that close to me?
No, it's in Genesis.
Oh.
At like kind of like towards the top right corner of the map.
Cool.
All right. I'll send you guys the coordinates so that you can go check it out. And there's like I put like a golden arrow for where the door is, because 9 times out of 10 people can't find it.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to just be blunt. Like, if you can't find the golden arrow, well, then just go stand in the corner.
Yeah. That's just that's a rule for life, I think.
Lestage, thank you so much. That's okay. Thank you. Yeah, there's something that we can use to collect suggestions. That's awesome. Thank you. Much appreciated, Tony. I love how the trees have frost on them. the jungle vines are collecting the mist.
Well, it's snow, but yeah, I love that this is as close to snow as I'm ever gonna get again.
Yeah, you have no intention on ever going back?
I mean, that's probably not true. I would probably go back to spend like maybe half a winter in Yellowknife if I could convince. That's where I'm from originally. If I could convince Michelle to go with me,
I'll go with you to Yellowknife for like a quarter of the winter. I mean, you know that we're never going to leave the house, and we're probably, but the Northern Lights, from where I went to school in Thunder Bay, they're a lot more south than that, and they were beautiful. So they must just be fantastic up in Yellowknife.
I would love to go to Switzerland, and there's I actually did my ancestry.com, found out that I have a cousin there. We kind of look alike, surprisingly, and our great grandfathers were twins, both from Poland. One stayed in Poland, and the other one went to Switzerland. Anyhow, my cousin sent me a picture of inside an igloo, or not an igloo, but like a glass dome, and it's like a hotel. They have them all set up.
Cool.
And you could watch the Northern Lights there, and it was spectacular.
Yeah, I think some people actually built that in Yellowknife too, like just those little dome tents that you can hang out in. Because like the
oh, that's awesome.
And the Northern Lights is just like, it's, as much as I whine and cry about having lived in the winter for so long, like just knowing that I have that in my head. I've told the story a few times about like when I was growing up, we lived on a lake, and I'd take the dog hiking across the lake all the time, no matter what the temperature was, and of course it's dark by the time school's over, right? Like it's dark after about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, it's just normally, it's funny. Like I didn't know any different, right? The first time I was ever outside and it was dark and I was warm, I was in Florida and I was 16 years old. Because if you're outside at night and you're warm, it's light out in Yellowknife. Like every single time, the whole time I was growing up. Like there'd never been, a dark, warm evening in my entire history, which is pretty messed up. Anyway, so yeah, there was this one night where I was standing out in the middle of the lake, and there was Northern Lights basically in 365 degrees, like just Northern Lights everywhere. And what it was doing was basically creating a ring of shadows from me just standing in the middle of this lake. So it was basically, just dancing shadows all around me. That was the single most trippy thing that I have ever experienced. But it did make a lot more sense later on in life. Let's put it
that way. Nice.
I like it.
Nice. So when was the last time you were home?
Michelle actually took me back there for I think maybe I was 42 or 40, something like that. Yeah, she surprised me and basically like got me on an airplane, and then got me back up to Yellowknife for the first time in a long time. And then really blew it up by having all of my old bandmates from my band up there join us from all over Canada. There's a lot of cheers. Yeah, I lucked out in the wife department a few years ago.
Sounds like it.
It's pretty good.
I need to do more for my missus like that, because she definitely didn't luck out.
Shit.
Oh, I got to.
These freaking guys. Is it because you didn't sleep? They went after you. I probably haven't slept either. Maybe I'll just go sleep.
Yeah, I haven't slept yet.
All right. Well, luckily, some badass
I got
a castle.
Yeah. Third one. There it is. Done. Where'd you? Oh, you go in a tree?
Yeah.
All right.
So I actually kind of unplugged for the weekend, but I've been collecting, resources over on one of the plots in Gratitude for quite a while. And I finally was able to put in a perimeter rail. And I think I have a really good plan for A, an art gallery, and B,
cool.
A visitor center that we're going to be able to feature some stuff in Gratitude for. It's pretty cool. And I found the bottom of the server again, so that's fun. I really like finding the bottom of the server. I don't know why.
Here you go,
kind of like a bottoms up kind of guy. Seriously, if you haven't found the bottom of the server, go find it and then see the difference between night and day. It's pretty spectacular. But you know, there'll be something there for y'all coming view soon enough, which is pretty cool.
It's like,
is that a shovel, or are you just happy to see us?
Yes. I was trying to listen to your rant, and all I could think of was like, Mello's elytra wings are cool.
You right?
I've never used
it. And you know what's cooler is the skin that I'm wearing, which is Halo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Master Chief, what's up?
And it's funny is I haven't played Halo since Xbox One.
Really? I dug it up actually. Like you can get them all with like EA Play or whatever Xbox thing I have. I played for a minute about a month ago. It's fun. Nostalgic. Yeah, that's always the thing. Like any kind of video games like that. You know,
because it's like my free time is now allocated for my own artwork. You know.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Because it's like my only way I can decompress at the end of the day is, you know, I literally have like a recorder where I just say out my ideas, and then at the end of the day, I'm trying to knock at least one or two of them out. You know.
Good. That level of consistency is amazeballs.
Thanks.
Speaking of consistency, I need to get a freaking axe together.
Oh, that sword I gave you, by the way, it's like a 1 or 2 hit kill and it lights them on fire instantly. So keep that with you. And it recharges, by the way.
Oh, that's amazing. Kind of like what my nephew did to me, that little fucking shit.
Also, if you guys have any comments out there in the questions in the chat, please do let us know.
So yeah. I just want to say, if this person is listening to, shout out to Austin Linney. Fucking love you, brother. Him and I got something spicy in the pipeline. I put the link in this private chat. Read the bio, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's pretty interesting, and also I think Austin will be joining us on Wednesday for Media Moguls this week.
Good.
Awesome.
Love having that guy around.
Right. I may be in and out this week actually because I'm back at the in-laws. But I'll be here as much as I can. And we're also it's crazy because I haven't put out an article in like a few days, but like the amount of articles that I'm working on right now is insane. I've got like 10 articles that are like partially finished because there's just so much things to detail and take photos of. So again, if you're out there and you're doing awesome builds and you want to feature them, that's pretty cool. Definitely.
You're doing.
Sorry, go ahead.
Finish what you're saying. I'll chime in afterwards.
No, go for it. It's cool.
Okay, I was just gonna say it's great that you are doing like a bunch of them at one time because you, like I said, you have all these ideas in your head and you just have to get it out. So it's great that they're not all finished because what you're doing is you're giving yourself some space to free up in your mind essentially, and then you just work on them little by little every time, knock one out one at a time. But like if you're just getting it out of the way, which is great, trust me, because it really does impact your ability to think throughout the day. You know, if you have all these, like, well, I got 12 galleries I got to do a report on. Well, let me just get some of that out of the way. Knock out 1 or 2, boom. You know, don't stress about it, man.
Yeah, I'm not stressed actually, and so one of the interesting things is like it's weird because like I'm not a gamer. I never did this kind of thing, but I was always a photographer. You know, in real life. I always used to take pictures, but you know, ever since I got a cell phone, I didn't do that so much. Plus, you know, my camera kind of got destroyed in Hawaii with all the salt living there for years. It's not very nice lenses. I'm sure it's the same in Miami and humidity and things like that. But it's quite interesting to be able to like travel around and take perspective of builds. And you know, now that Gary's kind of like migrated to doing videos, there was kind of the ability for me to step in and do those shots. Now I have a Mac, so my my shaders and resource packs are like hit and miss, like because it's not really optimized for Macs yet. But it's still, I mean, it's pretty good, and we get a lot of content out there. But like, I think the galleries are great. There's some other people that are doing some really interesting things, recap events and stuff as well. So I just want to also say, how do I put this? Like, you guys are making videos of the Uplift world and you're putting them on your own personal socials and channels. Make sure you hit us up, because we will retweet it. We will share it on our YouTube. Like, we want to drive as much, Corey knows, we want to drive as much content towards your stuff that showcases our stuff as humanly possible. And so, yeah, that's kind of what we're planning on doing. So tomorrow, I'm not sure what's going on tomorrow. We may or we may not have a guest. We may just come in here and do some interesting things. We're going to be changing up the show a little bit, probably over the course of the next month or two, for the simple reason that we're actually probably going to try to bring back some of the community focused shows at different days and times. Obviously, it's been a little bit chaotic with all the things that are going on around in the background of not only the Uplift, but like real life as well. Corey and me, we're still going to try to have this as a staple, but we do realize that if you're on the West Coast or if you're in Australia, especially, that it might be kind of difficult for you to, be live at this time. But regardless, hit us up, because Corey and I are both willing to do shows with people who are in different zones. And the nice thing about Corey and I doing this channel is we're kind of basically on the opposite side of the world. So this is like one of two times that actually work. Corey and I were like a broken clock. It works twice a day, and that's about it.
Yep.
The rest of the time,
I'm stoked, man. We still have some details to get through. It's gonna be a couple weeks probably before we have everything like really squared away. But yeah, I'm getting excited for a whole blitz. Like, I think like part of what happens next is, we double the number of people that are in our Uplift ecosystem, and like the like just the builds that are happening, the all the energy that already exists, right? I firmly believe it just needs, to get out there. And so, that's one of the things I'm going to be doing to kind of help that stuff get squared away. Is I just want to do, I'm going to start doing way more shows. I know we do a lot already, but like, I can do more, so I will.
Well, and yeah, I think myself as well, and a few of the other people on the channel too. So there's a bunch of people that have access, and so we can definitely feature many different types of people. And I mean, if you ever want to just come in and you like, I mean, seriously, Mello, like, fuck, if you want to come in and go and build with people on our channel, like, you're more than welcome to do that. Like, we can.
Yeah, definitely love to. I want to pass that off. I think it would be really great to add some value is to have a day dedicated to people who don't really know how to build.
Yeah.
And just give like a lesson. Like,
dude, man, like if that's if that's in your wheelhouse, go for it. I tried to do it with other people because I'm not a very good builder, to be honest. And we like Greg was doing it for a little bit for a while, but like if you have tutorials that you want to put out there and you want to throw them out, I'm like, that would be like awesome. Like, I would love that.
Yeah, definitely. Because I have people hit me up like, oh well, I can't build. Can you do it? Yeah, I can. But like at the same time, it's like I like to incorporate the client.
Hey Corey,
yeah.
You can keep doing your thing, but while you do that, I'm gonna do this because Mello's talking about like how some people can't build, and this person right here, he couldn't build.
Oh yeah, here, yeah.
But this is what came out of Mello and TC deciding to take him under his wing.
Gary with the freaking music.
Right.
Like it just adds that extra level of flavor. I gotta find out where he's getting this music from, what website.
Dude, you can find it. Just go to the UpLifters YouTube channel, click on the link, and it's all Creative Commons music. It's all copyright free, so it's all there.
Nice.
And Gary's really adamant about making sure that we source all of this stuff properly. So like everything is all there. Like everything that we're using, all the music that we're using for these videos, it's all Creative Commons. It's all properly sourced, I think.
So yeah, something.
Yeah, like so you can check it out. It's really there. And like, yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about, dude, like, fuck, I can't even watch sci-fi anymore. You know, like I go on to the Sci-Fi Network and it's like, yeah, they got their little intros of their new shows. Like none of them fucking compare to that shit.
I don't know. Have you seen the Expanse intro?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good.
There's a couple.
That was the Expanse, the TV show.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched season 6 yet, so I need to get on that.
It's pretty good. Granted, cool. Like my baseline for anything with a freaking spaceship in it, like I'm super biased. But the books were all fantastic too. Like just the way they stuck to it in the show is pretty good. And they actually pay attention to the physics. Like they were in Tycho Station, which is like a ring station, right? It's rotated to create artificial gravity, right? So they kick some guy out of the airlock. Ordinarily, that person's just gonna like float away. Nope, drop like a fucking stone because there's artificial gravity, because they're spinning. You kick somebody off a spinning wheel, they're gonna drop like somebody threw them straight down. And it's like little things like that I pay way too much attention to.
But you know what? I mean, you're not the only one. Like one of the things that I hate, and I absolutely, I don't like to use the word hate, but I'm going to use it in this, is I will see in a show a guy walks through the door wearing a red shirt, and he comes through the door, it's a different angle, and he's wearing like a blue shirt, and I'm like, really? Like you guys just, you don't pay attention to the details? Like it doesn't make sense. I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, I think it's fair.
Frankly. Maybe you were wearing those like blue-red glasses that you used to use to watch the 3D, and when he came through the door, one eye was winked, but when he came through the other one was. It could have been that. It could be your fault, Mello. Maybe you're just wearing the wrong glasses.
Listen to you, jeez.
Could be. I love Jimmy's like personality. Like it is like the absolute best. It's the absolute best. Like, and what's great is like he'll shit on someone, but he'll do it in such an eloquent way with a little bit of thug on the end of it.
Dude, man,
he's a complex little onion, man.
I pretty much only shit on people that I like. Let's just leave it there.
I mean, and other weird sex habits of Jimmy D.
It's almost Corey. It's almost 2 months since I gave a 3-month standard on somebody who tried to fuck me over. I'm kind of thinking the 2 month is the mark where we just fucking, show all the screenshots and do all the stuff, because I'm kind of tired of waiting. And number 2, what's really fun is when people go back in chats and try to sweep things. And I just like have an exact replica of the chat that as is and decide to nuke it. That's when things get really fun.
You backed it up.
It's totally back.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because we're being patient with everybody that we can be patient with. But yeah, when you back stuff up, and then like it's always sort of telling when somebody's first move is to like, delete years and years of conversation. Like, well, that's a choice that you made. That's interesting.
Oh no, I deleted it for the simple reason that this person
weird. I wasn't talking about
back, and I know this person kept going back and changing it, and I'm just tired of people who don't see us for who we are. And I'm going to make a point with the new Uplift 2.0 to basically tell the community whatever I can at the single earliest point that I can without giving our groundbreaking ideas away to the competition.
Yeah, I mean,
it gets
absolutely
implemented,
has to be
everyone
the
gets
rule.
tagged, right? Like,
Yeah. That, I mean, that, like, I've been having conversations with, you know, I mean, throughout all this stuff, right? And I've been going back, and I know, you know, reasonable people will be frustrated with this because, you know, I've had to keep things close to the vest, again, not by my choice. But at the same time, like that lack of transparency and clarity has actually caused most of the issues all year. Right? Like, it's just that part just never ends. It's being super frustrating for me because it's like the solution to all of this stuff really is easy. A lot of the time, you just like solve it and quit trying to be coy about it. Like, and you'd think, like, I think we covered that in kindergarten for the most of us. Maybe it was different in Canada. But yeah, it's you know, like, we're doing all this stuff as a you know, a collaboration of so many different human beings. We're all putting a lot of energy into it, and you know, I just feels like it deserves that. So yeah, like, again, moving forward, that's going to be something that's on our mind constantly. And Tuttle actually has a massive plan for transparency that is going to be. I think the way that she put it is that there will be so much data that it might actually end up even getting annoying. I mean, everything we do is going to be on chain, right? So this is the way.
And obviously, like, Corey and I and the Uplift team, we've had some issues, and we're trying to fix it as much as we can. You know, well, you know, land the spinning ship that's falling straight down, basically. I
don't think we're spinning or on fire anymore.
No,
so
I think
good.
No, I was talking about, you know, you're in space and then falling down the tuber.
Oh, you were. Oh, dude, I'm sorry, I missed the callback.
Yeah, it's all right.
Man, my bad.
No, it's not your bad. What I'm talking about is a platform that is DeFi. Who says that they're DeFi, but they decided to lock an account because I didn't give them back what they wanted. That might or might not happen to be on a different blockchain. It's definitely on a different blockchain, and it might or not have to have, you know, been ported over from a project that I used to work for. Now, I know that, like, let's just say I had some interesting messages today. So well, I mean, things happen when you talk to the ASIC, and you can find some really cool things. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I really like fucking burning people to the ground when they piss me off. So let's just leave it there. Like, keep your ears posted. Like, if you want to, like, dive into more drama, what's going on in the real life world of Jimmy D, figure out where I worked and figure out what kind of people are fucking with me, because that's going to be really fun. And for all of you people who really like yelling at shit, and especially for all of you people who keep coming to me and saying, Jimmy D, we don't know what's happening with the Uplift, and the only reason we're not burning it down is because we love you. Go burn these fuckers down, because I'm waiting for it. Put your fucking money where your mouth is, right?
Just channel that energy into some positive pursuits. That's
right.
I'll create some artwork for you.
There you go.
Actually, you were already on my mind with that, which is funny. But Corey knows we're here to incentivize communities. We're going to throw a shit ton of incentivization behind this project, and I'm really glad that we did, because the only thing worse than pricks are pricks who lie. Again, not related or have ever been related to the Uplift. No partner projects. We're not talking about our situation. I want this to be very, very clear. If you think that the shit that happened here was bad, tune in a couple of weeks, because that's going to be bad shit, and it's going to be really fun. But however, what we got coming on the front lines for this week. Again, tomorrow we might have a guest. There's two options, and I'm not sure, or I might just do an update. On Wednesday, we got Austin Linney. On Thursday, we're going to do our update. And on Friday, we got NFT game day. And if you're out there and you're running a project and you want to join us, that's cool. If not, I've got a couple options for that as well. Definitely, thanks for joining, Mello. And you're more than welcome to join on any Monday that you want.
Thanks
But
for having
also
me.
go check out Mello's collection. You're over on Nefty Blocks as
The Mellow Life.
the Mellow Life.
Yeah, I sent the link in the private chat if you wouldn't mind putting that out there. Let them take a look at that. I'll send you guys on Telegram another one I just finished.
Can you send it again?
Yeah.
It's not. I don't see it in there.
How about now?
Yep, there we go. And Corey, what do you got? Do you have anything to shout out before we let this go?
Nope. Just I mean, we're still working on the deal today. That's kind of my focus. Like it's real close. So now we need to just make sure we've thought of everything.
What?
And then we'll get it done.
Oops.
What just happened?
Well, that's interesting. I'm streaming to an extra channel. That's fun.
Oh, you're going to Generios? I just noticed that. That's funny. All right. Hey, you do you, boo.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later. I also work for Generios if you haven't figured that out. So definitely come and check us out. And yeah, I think that's a really valid point. Like we've got a really good plan. But how do I put this gently? We're buying a fucking company. Yeah. I mean, you don't just like you don't just hand over a company and say, okay, thank you very much, right? Like there's a lot of shit that goes into
dude,
it.
There's some
a lot of paperwork.
Oh man. Right. And really, like we're moving with. Well, I've talked to a bunch of lawyers. Just of course, we need our own now. Just generally, and the speed with which we are moving is shocking to them,
right?
But it's necessary for us. So we're going to try and make sure that we get all the T's crossed and the I's.
Well, I think it's necessary for all parties, right? Like they're looking.
Yeah,
to branch out and go in their own way as well. So
100%, like it's something we need, and honestly, like we need to be able to figure out how to move into getting into a space where we can actually build back some runway. Because right now, my team's working for free, so that is the main animating principle that I have as far as wanting to be hyper efficient and get this stuff done. We just want to get back to work. Like we've got unbelievably fantastic shit to do right now. And so we're going to make it as simple as we possibly can, but obviously we have to be as careful as we can in this transfer process as well. So,
we're doing
that's my focus.
We're doing unbelievably amazing shit and turning down jobs on the side because we can't do both. So anyone who's complaining that we're not giving enough away, like none of us are making enough fucking money. So can you just fucking chill out for a minute and let us fix this shit?
Or honestly, or don't. Like I like this. I'm at the point now where like I'm really excited about constructive opinions. I'm the one who's going to spend many orders of magnitude more than anyone else to make this happen. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to decide, and that's just the way it's going to be. And, I'm the one taking on all the risk. So, is what it is. And I think we have an amazing plan that is primarily focused on giving literally millions of dollars worth of value away to the team and to the community, because that's what I believe in. People can think it's enough or not. I honestly don't care anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. And Roger, thanks for dropping in. Roger won a giveaway we did on the Edge the other day. And Roger, I'm at the in-laws, so there's things that aren't here right now that I need to be able to deal with that. And I should be back later in the week, but don't worry, I won't forget about you. I got something really special for you, which is really cool.
Nice. By the way, you are being very quiet today. I'm very proud of you.
Right? Like it's good. Like I have to.
You're kind of nailing it. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Because there's been a couple times your in-laws where I'm like, Jimmy, you need to shut the fuck up. Because you get as loud as I do, and it's just not right.
Right. I mean,
progress.
That's good.
Right?
He's
We're
making
killing
progress.
it. Hey, Mello, can you give us the choppy chop?